People often ask me, Coach Mark, what can I do to get away from junk food? How can I start eating better? I really have a sweet addiction. Seems like I just can't stop eating sweets, cookies, candies, desserts. My answer often surprises them because I live by this mantra, guys. You don't need to replace sweets. You need a better option for sweets. You don't need to totally get away from desserts. You need better options for your desserts, right? So we're going to talk about a couple ways that you can get away from craving junk food all the time and being a junk food junkie, as they used to say. Now, number one, guys, your environment has to be conducive with your goals. Your environment has to be conducive with your goals. So what are we talking about environment? For most of you, it's your kitchen and it's your desk. It's your kitchen and it's your desk. I know you've heard this before, but every time the subject comes up, I feel like I need to reiterate. If you have your favorite snacks available to you every time you walk in the kitchen, how do you expect to refrain from eating them? For some of you, they're sitting out on the counter. Literally. The bag of Lay's potato chips is sitting out on the counter. The bowl of M&Ms is sitting right there as a centerpiece on your table. How do you expect yourself to keep from eating these foods, but they're so readily available? We have to change that. You have to put these snacks in a place that you would have to maybe open 2 drawers, right? 2 compartments. You would have to open a door or 2, or you would have to go down in the basement to get them, go out in the garage to retrieve them. And for a lot of you, you're at a point where not keeping them in the house is your best choice. Guys, listen to me. I know we don't encourage running to the store for snacks, right? Because that's just not a great way to reach our goals. But at the same time, if you're having a problem with eating junk food, if you're having a problem snacking too much, you got to make it tougher on yourself to consume them. So when you don't have them in your house, you say, okay, you know what? Every time I want some Lay's potato chips, I'm going to have to run to the store to get them. Now, there's going to be times you run to the store. Let's just be honest about that. But you won't then eat them the next day, and then halfway through that next day, and then keep eating them till all the bags are gone, right? And I get it. A lot of you guys got kids, and you'll say, Mark, I got kids. They love the snacks. They do love the snacks. They're always going to love the snacks. But they aren't trying to lose weight right now. You are. And one of the things that I found as a great tool or a great method to keep myself from eating too many snacks, man, with kids in the house is I buy them snacks that I don't like. You don't like all the snacks. But guess what? They do. One thing we know about kids is when it comes to junk food, man, if they're going to eat some, they're not as picky as us, right? So you got to start buying some foods that only they enjoy, that you don't enjoy. And if they're going to be sitting out on the counter looking right at you, you're not going to be tempted to eat something that you don't like, right? And let's talk about your desk a bit. A lot of you have a desk. A lot of you work from home and you have a desk. A lot of you have snacks and candies inside of your desk at home. And I get it, it's convenient. It powers you through your day, or at least you feel like it does. And what would you do without it? But guys, most of us overeat because we snack throughout the day, and it's impossible for us to measure how many calories we consume. That's the biggest, that's probably the number one reason why a lot of people cannot stay on track with their fat loss. Now, obviously there's the sugar intake as well, right? So, but if you combine those two, having those snacks and those candies readily available in your desk for you to pull out at any moment, not only does it continue to spike your insulin, your blood sugar, guys, but it creates this habit, right? And you have this oral fixation with always putting something in your mouth. So it becomes a habit for you to overeat daily. So every single day, you got to constantly be putting something in your mouth. So to destroy that habit, guys, and this is kind of cut and dry. You just got to get the snacks out of your desk. You have to make it to where you at least have to get up and walk to go get the snack or the candy, okay? And we know that a lot of you are busy with your job, so you're not going to have a whole lot of time to just keep getting up and going to get the snacks. The funny thing is, we started, bringing snacks and putting candies and desserts in our desk with the little refrigerator in our office for convenience. And I get it, man. It makes perfect sense. But if we will replace those things, those items with some type of fruit that we like, it would change the game for us. So I get it. You're used to snacking and eating on something. We got to replace it with healthy options. We have to. And guys, let's just be clear about something. It's 2026. Any grocery store in America has a huge produce section. And I haven't met a human being yet that does not like some type of small vegetable or some type of fruit that they would like to snack on throughout the day. So I understand it's not as enjoyable as eating our desserts or our cakes or our crimpets, but we got to do it to reach that goal that we're trying to reach. All right. Now, I think another reason why it's hard for us to get away from the junk food, guys, is that we're not honest with ourselves and read the labels, right? It's our favorite snack. It's our favorite dessert. It's our guilty pleasure. Oh, I know I shouldn't be having it, but I just love it. Guys, we all have snacks we love. Let me tell you something. Every single person you follow online has snacks and desserts that they love. The people that look like they have 0% body fat, those people have snacks and desserts that they love. But guys, they just don't put themselves in position to overconsume, right? So you got to be honest about what's on that label, because there's many times that it's not as bad as what you think, depending on what your goal is. So if your goal is, to be in a 500 calorie deficit, you might be able to fit in a few snacks every day. Now, is that great for habits? No, it's not great. But if you need to do it at this stage that you're at, you need to do it. But when you look at the label and see how much sugar, how many calories, what the carb content is perhaps, then you're able to just have a realistic view of what you're consuming, guys, and you got to track it. And what'll happen is it brings a lot of awareness, and you start being mindful of how much you consume. You may not stop consuming that dessert, that junk food, that snack, but you'll be aware of how many you should consume every time you open that package. So it might just be, let's say it's crimpets, and most of us love crimpets. Inside of your macro plan, inside of your calorie restriction plan, or inside of your calorie maintenance plan, it might allow you to eat 4 of them a day. And guys, that's, again, that's not a great strategy for fat loss or for muscle building, right? But if it is something that you enjoy and it's something that you feel like you've struggled to get away from, you at least have to know, how many can I eat before it becomes super damaging? Now, at some point, you want that to lessen and diminish at some point and become a very small part of your meal plan and diet. But right now, if you're at a point where junk food is you feel like it's tearing you down and keeping you from your goal, you just got to make some adjustments. So guys, curating our environment, keeping the snacks out of arm's reach, making it tougher to just go grab and consume the snacks, keeping them without eyesight. Because guys, it's out of sight, out of mind is a real thing. If we can't see it, it's a lot harder for us to think about it. And reading the labels, tracking our junk food. Let's just figure out how much we're consuming, what damage it's doing, what damage it's not doing. How does it fit into our macros and our plan? All right, this is your guy, Coach Mark. This is First Light.